Well, hello folks, welcome to another video. I am the Custard Prophet, and we're coming back for something exciting, something I did not know was on the way. It's Tennis Manager 2023. A couple of days ago, apparently the guys at Rebound SG put a tweet out. Didn't see it originally, but I was copied into it by somebody else, and yeah, it was basically this, that the Tennis Manager 2023 will be out in May, 25th of May this year. So what's that? From today, just over a month, which is unbelievable. It's about the same time I think they put it out last year, the Tennis Manager 2022. Really just wanted to have a look through in this video any little teasers that they have dropped, any clues that they've dropped to what this might all be about, and the improvements that they have made. We're going to have a look on the Steam page, because pretty much all of the information that I think we're going to see is on the Steam page, including 7 screenshots, which I haven't seen anywhere else, including on the Tennis Manager website. So we'll have a look through those screenshots, and we'll have a think about what all this might mean, and have a look through the blurb as well, because there might be a few bits and pieces in there. But I'm very, very excited. I mean, the Tennis Manager game series, this would be the 3rd iteration of the game. The first one, they came out and it was their first game. They'd done mobile games previously, but it was an incredibly high bar that they set. It was a very, very good looking game. There were certainly things wrong with it, which I pointed out at the time. Certain things around the gameplay itself, what it actually looked like to watch a match. There was not enough animations, and the animations just didn't link together very well. And you got some very odd things going on, so it just didn't look very good. But actually, they put it into a really, really good setup, which reminded me so much of Football Manager. So using that as sort of a model is what they seem to be doing. And then Tennis Manager 22, it was an upgrade on that, but what they did there was really improve a lot of the areas that clearly needed to have a little bit of work on it, including actually watching a match, because the difference between 22 and 21 when you're watching a game is chalk and cheese. And I imagine they will go further still, putting more animations in and just making it look just more and more like it is, like you're watching an actual tennis match. So that I imagine will be one of the big changes that they're putting in, but there may well be lots and lots of other things as well. But there were also other things that they put in around the game as well. So improvements to the academy infrastructure, made big strides there. Really, really like what they did there. They also allowed you to create a player, which I thought was a really nice thing, and put a lot more options into how you start the game, where you start the game in terms of your academy. I think there was still a lot more they could do there as well, and a bunch of other things as well, which just made it a big, big step up from the previous version. So my hope is that this will be a big step up from TM23. I think it's going to be harder to achieve that big step again, because the more of these big steps you take, the closer you are to the top, and I think it's always you have to work that much harder to make progress. So we will see, but essentially they've got a little teaser trailer. I'm not going to show you the teaser trailer, because you don't really see an awful lot in it. In fact, you see nothing at all, but just a couple of things from it. But also then a bunch of screenshots. So teaser trailer starts up with this World Cup final, match decider in the doubles, and then what they've done, your team is down 1 set to 0, and then they've gone out into the Tennis Manager community and got a load of the creators who've made content around the tennis management games to come in and say what they would say to get their team pushing forward. So this could mean a few things. This could mean a few things in my mind. And just before we get to that, they've asked a Football Manager creator, but it wasn't me. It was bloody Zealand. Damn it, the man gets everywhere. You can understand it. He's got that voice, but and he's from the US, and I don't think they had anyone else in the US, but he is in there in this thing. But I think this says a couple of things to me. Hopefully what it tells me is that, there he is, is that this relates to maybe the Davis Cup, and we have the Davis Cup in the game, and you're able to kind of take charge of a national team in the Davis Cup, which would be super, super exciting. I think that's superb. It also suggests to me, potentially, and you can put some comments down below on this, that maybe they've made big improvements to how you interact with the players, which was always, I felt, one of the things that was just the weakest in the game. The options you had and the way you interacted with players to kind of G them up and stuff. They made improvements, but there was so much more that needed to be done. Yeah, so there we go. Tennis Manager 2023, May 25th, it's out. And then their tagline, serve your colours. So I think that must relate to the fact they're putting Davis Cup in the game. I don't think it was in there already. You certainly couldn't take charge of your players if that was the case. But the idea that you can take charge of the Davis Cup team, that seems a really exciting one. And I can see why they might have gone with this as their kind of their big feature kind of teaser trailer reveal. It's hopefully it kind of reminds me a little bit of international management in FM, and what we don't want to happen is what international management has become in FM, which is a kind of second class game. You don't have all the options in there, so hopefully it will be as interactive if you're taking charge of a Davis Cup team as it would be if you were taking charge of an academy. And it may even be a separate game that you play. I don't know. I'd love to hear some of your ideas down below, what you think this all relates to, because I think it's very, very exciting potentially. So that's all you get from the trailer. So potentially Davis Cup coming to the tennis, and the women's version of Davis Cup, which the name of which completely has eluded me. Do the juniors have a version as well? You'd think they would, and potentially changes around how you interact with players and that sort of interaction dynamic, which definitely needs to improve. So what else have we got here? Well, let's have a look just over here. So Tennis Manager is coming back very soon, 2023, new season, new players, new tournaments. That suggests Davis Cup, doesn't it? That new tournaments, because where else would they go with the tournaments that they've got? Full of new features, which is exciting, and a real team spirit. Yeah, they are just they're really pushing that team version. So yeah, I'm 99% sure the Davis Cup is coming to Tennis Manager 2023. Serve your colours. To make sure you don't miss anything, add the game to your wish list. Do it now. Right, so let's just have a look at some of the screenshots. Now this is less exciting. Let's go and have a look at some of the screenshots here. So make them a little bit bigger. First screenshot we have is the in-game statistics screenshot with the 3D analysis. Now I think this looks subtly different, and this is the one I haven't looked at because I haven't gone into the game to check it out. Specifically this one. I've looked at some of the other ones, but I'm not sure about this one. But it certainly looks different in the way this is delivered. I think, from my mind, there are more options here, but let me know about this because I'm not 100% sure, and I don't go into this screen nearly often enough. But I do like the idea of a heat map type thing to show where you're sort of most often. That might well help, and hopefully, because you can't access, this is one thing which is really annoying about the game, things like this would be really useful to be able to see after the game. But as far as I'm aware, actually when you go into the statistics tab for your player, outside of when you're actually playing a match, you can't see any of these things. And being able to see these things like a data hub type thing, and you could say, well, we did this against this player and it did work, and this against this player and it didn't work, and you might actually be able to start bringing out some patterns and stuff. So I would like to see that sort of thing, that crossover, so you could really kind of dive into the stats of how you're playing in your matches and kind of analyse those in kind of a data hub type scenario. But can't see anything specifically more than that. Obviously you've got your statistics tab here and then the 3D analysis. That does look a little bit different though. but I'm not 100% sure on this. This is the only one I haven't been able to check thoroughly. So this is a screenshot of, I think it's just as you're kind of coming into the game. I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, but it looks a little crisper. Looks a little crisper to me. That versus what we've seen before. Looks a little bit more realistic. Stands look nicer, but I don't think you could. I mean, it could easily be a screenshot from the previous game for all I know. Other than it says Tennis Manager 2023. I think around the advertising hoardings. I think it does. It does say that there. So probably not that, but there you go. So I think maybe a slight upgrade in graphics and maybe stadium graphics perhaps. But my thoughts here is actually they're not really giving too much away with these screenshots at the minute because they want to hold that back for their kind of their larger feature reveal video, which undoubtedly will be coming in the next few weeks, I'd imagine. So, yeah, can't really say much here. Now, I've looked through here. The only thing I can see here is what we have is a slightly different kind of background going on. So, a little bit of these kind of flashes and scratches and things. But all of these menus, everything here looks exactly the same. Not seen anything different here at all. So, nothing there that looks in the least bit different from what we've had previously. And you'll also notice, I think we can say here, is that because we got the players that we know here, so Novak Djokovic doesn't have his real name, so we will have to be putting the real name fix into the new version of the game. As soon as that is available, I will be making a video for you to show you how to do that. But it's dead easy, and if I haven't managed to do it by then, go and check out the one for TM23 because it will work exactly the same as that. It just will be a slightly different named folder, I think, a different named thing that you need to download, but it will be all available from Steam. Again, look through this. Obviously, these academies are all names. This is the in-game version of them, and then you need the real name fixed to give them the proper names. But I couldn't see anything different on this screen at all. There was all the same categories all the way across here. All of these menus were exactly the same. There was a little bit of difference, I think, with some of these things, but I think that's just, I think those are updated with the real name fix anyway, though, that sort of graphics. So I don't think there is any change there that I can see. But if you do see a change that I've missed, leave it down below, please. Again, and this is a place I really would like them to improve. So in this sort of staff recruitment, I think the recruitment area of this game is so much in need of a really big overhaul, and maybe we'll have something in the evaluations tab that does that. But currently, the way you look for staff, there's no change there. I want a little filter saying, staff who are interested, but as far as I can see, there isn't that doesn't exist there. So there we go. We've got exactly the same sort of tab. We can't see anything new there, but hopefully they have made some changes within that. So number 6 is this one. Again, I looked at this, I couldn't see any difference. All of the menu titles are all the same. We've got the same sort of things up here. I mean, there's a lot of hope that they've kind of made shape a little less overpowered. That would be good, but we will see about that. But yeah, you've got all the same options in there. I checked all of that. You've got the ability to import a game plan in, which is important that they've kept that. And you've got all of these 101 different game plans that you can kind of choose from, including the ones that you've kind of imported in. But all of these things exactly the same. And obviously we're at a fairly big academy with a bunch of different players in here. But yeah, no difference. And this here is the only one I could really see a difference at all. And I wonder whether they've put it in just to see if anyone can see this. And see if you can see it, because I don't think you will be able to, because it's behind my big head. No, it's not actually. It's just above my head. It's this thing here, Captain, which might relate to the Davis Cup. So as Davis Cup captain, perhaps it might relate to you appoint a senior player as the kind of captain of your players team, of your players. But that's definitely not in the other game. So I don't really know what it refers to, but I think it must refer to something new in the game. Don't know what that is though. Any ideas in the comments, please. So that's those 7 screenshots. We don't get an awful lot of information from those. We've got a little bit more down here, and we'll just read through here. So the new Tennis Manager arrives May 25th, 2023, just before Roland Garros. Discover in a few days the presentation of the new features by clicking on the follow button. So the new features will be out very, very shortly. This year, Tennis Manager puts team spirit first, be there. So that's maybe kind of motivation, but I think it's just pushing that Davis Cup idea. Put on the suit of a tennis coach and manager of a tennis academy. Immerse yourself in the most realistic tennis simulation on and off the court. Beat the odds and take control from junior circuit to the professional circuit. Over 2,000 tournaments and 5,000 players present. Find the talent that will lead your academy to glory. Hopefully that's a hint to the fact that they've improved the recruitment system, because that's certainly what needs to be done. Financial stability. The finances is certainly an area I would like to see improved. I want them to look a little bit more transparent so you can really see what's going on. Maybe some sort of projection so you can see if you don't win anything at all, you don't play a tournament, where would you be sitting? Money in versus money out. Would you be in the red or the black? That sort of stuff. I think that would be really helpful when coming to kind of planning what you need to do. Maybe also some way of saying, well, if we put in this bit of infrastructure, how will that affect things? Will we be able to afford it? So almost like a budgeting system. I was asking a lot because they don't even do that in FM, but there we go. Maybe something like that. Contract negotiation. I mean, that's always needs improvement. Structural investments. I love that bit. If they improve that more, I'm not going to mind that at all. Be clever in your management. Reach your short and long-term goals. So you've still got goals. Impress your board of directors. Surround yourself with the best staff. So coaches, technical, physical, tactical, mental, trainers, etc. So I think that's all the same ones they had previously. And design the training program that best suits your players' ability, their expectations, and your style. So a lot of that sounds very similar, but it maybe hints at some improvements elsewhere. Perfect your speech in press conferences. Maybe that suggested something, and show your board of directors as well as your players that you're the right man or woman for the job. Hopefully they sorted out the issue where it doesn't seem to know what pronouns you need in whether you are a man or a woman. It seems a bit confused with that. Most of the time it was calling my players him, which I'm sure Shawnetta wasn't that happy about. Thanks to the 3D engine, immerse yourself in the heart of the match and coach your player in real time. Are you more of a serve and volley player or a baseline filler? Or filer, I don't know what that is. Exuberant or totally passive. Take control, impose your style, and guide your player to the top. Hopefully that's a little hint towards the those team goal things, those your game plans having more of a impact. And there's always been something, I think, most of these tennis management games, that people throw out the game saying that they just don't make enough of an impact. I've certainly seen an impact since I've changed the backhand style that I've been using on my current playthrough. Go and have a look if you're interested. So it definitely does, but some of the things you do change, it doesn't seem to make much difference. So hopefully that they've kind of worked with that and improved that. Right, so that's all we know. And we've got a little bit of stuff on the system requirements. We know it is a hungry game, and that is one of the issues I think with Tennis Manager, that it is a super hungry game, and it just does tend to eat up memory. And trying to record and play with my old laptop was more or less impossible, as you saw. I had a lot of kind of issues where I had to stop mid-match or it just kind of shut off. So the new computer can cope with that, but I have had comments saying it's really hard to work. I just can't get it working on my computer. So if they could do something about that, make it a little bit less hungry, that would be great as well. Anyway, folks, I've talked a little bit about some of the things I hope would be in there. I want to hear in the comments what you would like to see in this new game. What have you kind of taken from their initial feature reveal, or what they've told us so far? It's not a lot. What do you think about that? Have you got anything more than I have out of it, or do you think it's kind of focusing on Davis Cup, team tennis, that sort of stuff, as well as some of the other things we talked about? Let me know in the comments. And let me know in the comments if you're playing Tennis Manager 2022. Are you going to be buying the new game? I certainly will be getting the new game. Hopefully I get early access. I did last time, but I don't know whether I will be getting that this time. We will wait and see. But I'll certainly be making you lots and lots of Tennis Manager 2023 content when it comes out. I'll hopefully also be doing a feature reveal video as soon as that video is released. I might well be doing a features that I'd like to see video before that's released. Lots and lots of content to come. Only place you're going to see it is here. I don't think anyone else is doing interesting content on Tennis Manager 2023. Well, say interesting, any content on Tennis Manager 2023 at the minute. So make sure you drop me a like, drop me a follow, all that stuff, so you don't miss any of that content coming up. Right, folks, see you next time. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you very shortly. Goodbye.